days until things get weird. Expect people to change places, opt out and say, I'm no longer doing this. They'll start in their head on the 15th, but by the 20th, the world's going to be shaken up. So let's see what kind of shaking we can do today. Come on in, and as you come on in, give me a bunch of likes, hit that button down there, send this out to 2 or 3 friends, send it out to 2 or 3 people that aren't friends, that should be friends. Welcome. Come on in. What's the put down what you guys are feeling today? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling renewed? Is it something else? Anatomy trains, yes or no? That's a pretty broad question. Yes, they anatomy trains works. Does it describe everything? No. Do you have contact in Greece? Yes, we do have contacts in Greece. I don't know what you mean. Looking for, it's Jessica. It's Jessica under Hot Healing Oasis. That's it. So put down an intention of what you are dealing with today. Put down unbottled. I'm feeling sending love from Val in Las Vegas. Hi, Val in Las Vegas. Still feeling tired. Going through a lot right now. Can't see how it'll work out. Yeah, that's going to happen. People are getting things like diagnoses today, and they're getting jobs change and 7-degree Leo sun. Yeah, you're having fun today too. Recovering from a bowel obstruction. Best way to recover from a bowel obstruction is drink your urine. Okay, leg pain, insomnia. Looking for someone who does what you do in Athens, Greece. That's the whole point of what we do. I don't have anybody working on me. This is for you to work on you. So you never have to look for somebody who does what I do. Get into the, Amanda, get into the 28-day reset. There are people in Greece that are practicing, do partner maneuvers. I use any single person on the street to do a partner maneuvers. Here, hold my arms, twist. That's all it takes. It does not take a practitioner. It doesn't take somebody who's been doing it for 20 years. Yeah, I can do it better than someone who's brand new, but doing it with someone who's brand new is going to get you to 80%. And 80% of feeling better is better than 99.9% of not having me, or 99.99999999999% of not having me. Feeling nauseous. Okay, let's talk. We're going to talk to Dr. Jessica Justice. Starting my LSA level 2 today. Congratulations. Energetics Boutique. Hello, Jessica Justice.
Oh, it's so good to be here with you.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
Awesome.
Where are you? What's your native background? Your ancestral? Is it?
You
Is
know,
it?
I mean, like, there's like that one on paper, right, that we know from our family, Italian, and then a mutt of pretty much everything.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel, just like on a soul level, like I'm everything. I'm everybody all at once.
Yeah. So you have an interesting chart. What
Yeah.
is your what are you a doctor of, Jessica?
I am a doctor of metaphysics, and also I have my PhD in conscious centered living and holistic life counseling. I mean, you
I
do all
know
this
it. I know it.
schooling.
I know your doppelganger. She. It's funny. I know a girl who looks like you that has a doctor of metaphysics,
Oh,
and she's in
cool.
Vancouver. Yeah, and she's also a sound healer.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's really really funny because you two could be you two literally visually could be sisters.
cool. Maybe we can help each other out with the partner stretching.
Yeah, partner
Maybe we
maneuvers.
like really can mirror each other well in that
Where
sense.
where 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 is it that you live?
I live
You're
in
in
Stan.
Connecticut. Right?
Yep, I live in Stamford, Connecticut. Born and raised. It's a very progressive, innovative city. So, yeah, I became a school teacher over here for 20 years. My husband's a career firefighter, and then we opened up the wellness center based
Yeah,
on our own pain.
yeah, yeah. And what was it? What kind of pain were you dealing with?
Oh my gosh. When I really look at the rundown, I had a lot of pain my whole life. And I think a lot of it was just trauma passed down from,
I can
my dad being in war.
summarize it for you.
Yeah,
Guilt,
you could
shame.
summarize it.
Yeah, guilt, shame, feeling that you have to work too hard, not doing enough, worry. That's your
Totally.
that's your jam. That's what your chart says. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how you read these charts, but they're really accurate.
Well, it's numbers, right? Numbers don't
Yeah.
lie. Yeah.
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 So
So you have a are you you have a longer torso, thicker legs,
I
or short?
actually have a short torso. Like I say that that's what made me like
That's
a
your
world
Taurus.
class deadlifter.
That's your
Yeah, a world.
Taurus. Yeah. Yeah. Because most Sagittariuses have a longer
Yeah.
torso. So unless the moon is dominant, so your 3-degree moon, which is Sagittarius Taurus, makes it dominant, makes you a little bit thicker around through the center section.
Yeah, it's annoying, but when I was a professional power lifter, it wasn't. It like worked out for my benefit doing the deadlift. But now years later, right, it's in total pain. I mean, I crushed my body. It was horrible. It was like,
Uh, partnered maneuvers like partnered belly button trauma release, partner ileocecal valve release,
yeah.
partner leg release, and arm release will take all that away from you. Probably like within 1 or 2 sessions, you could do it with your husband.
So I was doing it with my husband, and I was also doing it with my soma therapist, who has
Yeah,
been working on me for 25 years, just going in there, and we were watching some of your videos together too,
you
and
want to
doing
do
that.
that.
So
You want to do that where they grab the leg and then you squat. You want to do that. The ileocecal valve release that will
well,
loosen it up for you because you get a lot of compression around your lower
you know
spine.
what happened to me, Gary? It was like I did the powerlifting and it crushed my body. 165. I'm deadlifting almost 600 pounds. And 700 pounds walking out with a squat. And then after I retired, I decided to get implants, breast implants and butt implants. It was never my trajectory. I just that's a really tough world. You've talked about
Yeah,
it before,
it
and
is.
it just really crushed my body. I mean, I did everything from use all the services that are centered. I've been doing urotherapy for over a year now. Parasite cleanses, and I went into like an autoimmune combustion. I just came back from Mexico to do stem cells. I did almost 1 billion stem cells in my body, doing all these maneuvers, and
Are you
it's
still have the implants in?
no,
Uh,
no, 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 no. I got
you,
everything
you,
explanted in 2022.
your fastest way through this is a long-term fast. Yeah,
Yeah, I did a 6 day
I'm
fast. I did.
I'm talking 21 plus days. I did 44, but and I come with a similar background. I was a competitive bodybuilder, won the nationals. I was 230, had compression in my lower back, had all the things. What I find with athletes, especially bodybuilders, powerlifters, is that fascia, the parasitic activity, the viral activity, and the trauma stored in the tissue. So as you start opening it up, it starts coming out, and there has to be a good flow for it to come out. And what is normally the case is as it comes out, the body requires more and more hydration because water is the universal solvent. So they don't have enough minerals in their system, like loading down with silica, loading down with silica.
It's funny that you talk about minerals because I never realized like how mineral deficient I was until I started leaning into fasting about like 16 months ago.
Yeah, you have a
And
predisposition for everybody's mineral deficient in silica right now because of the chemtrails. By the way, your state just banned chemtrails last week,
oh, well, that's great.
but you are also deficient in selenium based upon your astrology. So
Ah,
you have to exogenously take selenium right now and high doses of silica. That's why the diatomaceous earth has its most
yeah.
impact.
So what's a high level of silica?
Well, I mean, I would work up to a heaping tablespoon a day worth of diatomaceous earth, starting off at a
Mhm.
teaspoon, and then 2 teaspoons, and three, four, five. You're probably about 10 teaspoons a day
Does it have
of
to
diatomaceous.
be on like an empty stomach or anything like
No,
that?
actually, I mean, the way I prefer to do it is I put it in water. It tastes kind of at first chalky, but after you do that for a week, your body starts to crave it.
Yeah.
Um, I prefer to have it like that, but I prefer to do it in the morning myself. But if you get to a point where you feel nauseous or like a stomach ache or headache, it's because the diatoms are like crushing the parasites, and the parasites don't like it. So you'll get sometimes a headache action. But I tell people to take that and the Irish sea moss with bladder rack,
Yeah.
and put that into your food source. Like sea moss,
Yeah.
um, you can grind it up. You do like survival moss is really good, that we have. But what they do with their local stuff is they grind it up. They put in cinnamon, and they put in like maple syrup or our fascial sweet, and mixing it with food is important because you can't habituate a mineral specifically, and you can't because there's no hormones that are directly fired by it, but you can habituate what that mineral's in, which is like if you have it in a food or a soup or something like that or a drink. I'll put it in a drink. My body then craves the drink.
It makes sense. It's like the urine therapy, and I want to ask you about that too, because like I've been doing that for over a year now, and I mean I love it. I when you can get over the that mental construct of it,
Yeah,
you can feel, and like there's some days you really taste your own minerals and salt and stuff. It feels like it's very nourishing in that
yeah.
sense. But my question is, like how much do I drink? Because I'm drinking like six 6 ounces.
Yeah, I mean it. I
Is that
mean,
okay?
like Troy Casey drinks a lot more. I drink about this much, but
Yeah,
I'll
I
do it sometimes
saw.
twice a day. And um, Troy drinks more. Um, I think if you really want to bump it up, you've been doing it for a while, is ferment it for the 3 weeks because then you get 140 colonal stem cells, million stem cells. So the idea is that you're going for stem cell. You're actually better off. Your body is better off if you fast and you drink urine than you are to go get stem cell because the stem cells themselves. Your body, anything that you do that's organic like that your body is meant to produce, takes away a production function of your body, and your body goes, okay, I don't need to do that. So then it doesn't want to do it elsewhere in other situations, and that's across the board.
Got it. So, I mean, like, with getting the stem cells, they said, okay, wait 60 days to do any fasting. I've been in PT now. It's like, I wish they told you this stuff when you get implants and when you get explants. Like, you need to do fascia work, you need to do PT work, you need to just stretching and all that. But, you know, how does that look, this like longer fast that you're talking about? And
I look at I mean the what you want to do is reset your nervous system. As a power lifter, you have put lots of anger, fear, shame, and guilt into those tissues over many years.
totally.
And what happens is as you start to break it out, for most people they stay in those emotions because when you release that trauma from the tissue, you go through that emotional wave again. The For me, I did a 6 week fast with Cynthia and Jason, and that reset our entire nervous system. It reset our relationship with food, reset our relationship with our emotions. So over 21 days for sure. But if you do a 28-day fast, you are going to reset. I mean, the reason I'm telling you this, most people I wouldn't, but I already know from your background, and I can look at your astrology, those two things together, and your karma is extreme. You're a 29-degree Libra in your karma, which means that you and your Pluto, the way you stop and start things, is based on the heart, but also extreme. It's like right at the edge of everything, and so you are designed to do things in an extreme fashion to bring balance back. So you might as well do an extreme. Like your whole nervous system understands extreme, so you might as
Yeah.
well just be extreme. And at the 28th day, just like when you go in for a rehab, your body resets itself and your nervous system resets itself. People have never gone 28 days without food. It's like being on heroin constantly, and they don't know any difference. But when I was after the 28th day, when we went back to food, the weirdest sensation. It's like I knew mentally that I liked this type of food, but I had no memory of the taste of it because memory is not a thought.
Hmm.
Memory is an emotion. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you. I mean, that's the one way people dance around this. You've got a lot of compounding issues, and people dance around this a lot, and they spend, years or decades trying to figure this out. And you got the chutzpah to just go do it. So just go do it. You'll become a different
Yeah.
person.
So absolutely nothing. I could do the urine therapy with it, and then water, and then that's it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the things you might want to try through that period of time is you might want to try a week of doing like a grape juice or something like that.
Yeah.
But But the idea is this, is that we have built this, the entire human system is habitual. Everything that we do is a habit. Other than and breathing, we're born with synaptic optimized programs like sucking, blinking, breathing. These are programs that are innate to us that we can't erase. But everything after that is a habit, including walking.
Hmm.
So to unwind unhealthy habits, the quickest way to do that is to take it out of the tissue, and that tissue, when you're fasted, you no longer have the emotional reinforcement, which is the hitting the save button. It's like what we do is is our lives are like peeling a scab off, and what we do is if you peel a scab off every day, you can have that wound for 2 years; it'll never go away. And that's what eating food is like. Is no, people have never Most people have never gone 3 days or 7 days without food. So give it a shot. Work up to it. Maybe do a couple. Do a couple in between. If you get somebody to do it with you, it's easier because the thing about it is it that for me, we became an outcast to the rest of the world. Like we were on a different planet. I didn't sleep for and I still don't. If I fast for over 5 days, I don't sleep anymore. And then all of a sudden you get 16 hours a day back of your time. The only reason you sleep is to get DMT. But when your body's clean, non-restrictive, and you fast, you get DMT right away.
Yeah.
So it's like moving your body into the next dimension. I mean, and like I said, you have the mental determination to do it.
I do. You're right. I am extreme in that sense. And I mean, I think I'm more ready for it now, right? It's so serendipitous that we're having this conversation now on today
It's a new
because
moon. It's a new moon.
it is, and it's 111. I mean, I picked the date, you know what I mean? I just
Yeah,
felt all the ones.
you got
Um,
it. You got it because you're 29-degree Libra in your Saturn. So your karma comes through balance and through relationships. And so whether you knew it or not, today's your day. I'm a 29-degree Sag. So
oh, cool.
you're picking your day to sharpen your sword. This is a karmic call that we're having. And we've
It
had this,
is.
and to say it another way is we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, we definitely have. And I got to tell you too, I'm really excited for just this positive reinforcement, and also you just gearing up below my feet of going reinforcing this is the next step for me, because I remember the first time I did it was a 4-day fast.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the 4 days I had two huge dead bugs with tentacles come out of me. Like it
Jeez.
was it was in the middle of the night, I just didn't flush, because why flush in the middle of
Yeah.
the night? And you come in the morning and you're like, wait, what is this? Because the implants, I got 4 different parasites, 9 different strands of bacteria. So when you're talking about doing extremes, yeah, it was extreme with lifting, extreme with that other way. I used to see my body, probably trauma, as like more of a guinea pig. But also, like, I see movement as a celebration of life. Like, that's my way of worshiping God, and like really getting in tune with my breathing and all of this. But I'm definitely happy to try something new, because the start of this year came and I'm like, I'm just so sick of food and dealing with food and all of this.
Yeah, there's a point where if it hasn't been there, it kind of you're ready when the food starts tasting like cardboard, or for me, I went and grabbed a um avocado and it tasted like metal flakes. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, my body's telling me something. It's time to stop.
totally. I remember looking at something in my chart, and I think it was your group saying that, like, I'm on a mission to help the world.
You are.
Something of, and
Yeah,
I was like, this can't be any more accurate,
yeah,
you know?
you're becoming you're becoming basically an interdimensional leader in balance and beauty, and the balance between the balance and the extremities between what beauty really is, and most likely driven in the human body because of all your Taurus. So it's like you would have had to gone to an extreme level in your life to try to chase beauty in the body or what one version of it was
Hmm.
in order to come all the way back and then look at it a different way.
Totally.
And that's what mastery is. Mastery isn't like a pecking order. It's like we just have a big enough head to go through a wall, and then when we get through the wall, we're like, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, definitely. It's so funny too because this desire, like I love people. I just love helping people. I really believe that if we can just transmute and alchemize our pain, it can become our purpose. It's the same thing what you're doing. It's the same thing with what I'm doing. But like, I just think as a young kid, I mean, people were looking up to celebrities. I was looking up to Joan of Arc and Mother
Yeah,
Teresa. And I was like Moses in first grade, with the staff, let my people go for Halloween, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're 29 degree. You're a grandmaster in karma. So that's why you would be channeling anything that was karmic in the world, right?
Yeah,
As a kid. Yeah.
yeah. And even now, like we have missions trips to Ecuador and
When's
to,
your when's your husband's birthday?
it's he's a Leo, so it's August 15th.
Okay, August 15th. So
And he's
he's
the
a
day right
20,
before my father. This
20
is the day right after my father.
he's a 24-degree Leo, I bet you, which is be a Libra Leo, because you have Libra all over your chart. So
Can you make me a moderator? There's
yeah.
somebody trolling in there.
Okay. Can you put a comment in there?
Me?
Who's the troll? Who's the troll? I want to make fun of the troll while we got a troll in here. What's the troll's name?
Lily?
What? Lily?
Lily.t?
Lily what?
Lily.t? I don't know. Somebody just reported it.
Is there a troll in here? Uh okay. Well, doesn't look like it. Okay. Can you put a message in, Lisa?
I did. Try to get
Yeah, so I can see it.
I'm gonna look
Said
up.
some somebody said it is. It doesn't look like they're trolling. I looked at the messages. Okay, yeah. So I know it's a new moon. People are acting weird, but look at that. We got is that me going? Or is that Jessica?
the number of people reporting that.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me, Jessica? Can you put a
Yeah,
comment in there, please?
Yep,
sure.
Jeff did.
No, not you. I mean,
Okay.
Lisa. Sorry. Yeah.
Me, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I put two messages there.
I can't see any of your messages.
That's weird.
Yeah. Just anything. Hello.
Yep, I did.
Okay. There it is. Okay. You're a moderator. Yeah. So if you're spamming or whatever, we're gonna kick you out. But
Who's
I,
spamming?
I would. Somebody was there's something going on, but it's a new moon. People are acting weird, and in the next 4 days, today is Thursday, so by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, by Monday, people are going to be checking out anything that's not balanced in somebody's life. By Monday, they are going to get they're going to get a reconciliation, and it's going to be sharp. And then by that following Friday, by next Friday or Saturday, people are going to be acting on it.
A lot.
Yeah.
So, do you think a lot of this is the new moon, but it's also like during this time of the year, people with their New Year's resolutions, kind of getting off alcohol, sugar, all of this? Do you think that like ties into
I
what's
mean,
happening with the moon?
everything ties in, but this is the energies that we have right now haven't existed on the planet Earth ever. And between now and June 20th, we have the energies of transformation and war that haven't all collectively that have never been on planet Earth. And right now, this is this. I mean, these same type of energies come every year, but this last time this energy was here was 276 years ago, and 277 years ago, which was the Declaration of Independence, the revolution. So we're
Wow.
in revolution energy, but the revolution is not a physical war this time. It's people that are it's a revolution is in our perceptions. So banking systems are going to go down. Chase reported that I think it's on the 23rd that they're actually going to be filing for protection or bankruptcy. One of the largest banks in the world. We've got government systems being challenged, going down. We've got healthcare systems going down. There's never been a time like this. The people feel it. So this new moon is one that people are going to feel for sure.
Yeah, I saw it's you said this window from now until June, the middle
Yeah.
of June.
Yeah, I mean, this is the transformation. We're going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. This
Yeah.
is it. This is
Yeah.
the final curtain call. This is where everybody's either on stage or off stage. You're either in the play or you're not in the play. The curtain's coming up, and anything that doesn't look like it fits on set is going to be gone, burned, off, away.
It's
And
intense.
yeah, it's very, very
Make
intense. But
it, but it's good to take a stand, right? Like now, right now, what I'm hearing from you is it's time to take a stand.
well, I think the stance has already been taken. I think it's time to be flexible and adaptable, like the age of Aquarius, and to be non-judgmental. Anything that is not equal to the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is about fairness and equality. It's about technology and expansion and growth. It's also about there are no lies. You can't hide anything in Aquarius, and anything that doesn't match with that's going to be extracted out of people a hard way. I mean, I'll give you one. Like we see in these murder mysteries today, somebody 30 gets arrested 30 years later for killing somebody because now they have DNA and they can go and get a hair that was at a crime scene. And 30 years or 40 years later, they come back and they arrest the person, right?
Yeah.
Our digital DNA is a million times more persuasive. Imagine this. Every light that you've crossed, every traffic sign you've crossed, every phone call that you've ever had, every time you've been at a party talking to somebody and there's been a phone in the general vicinity, anytime that you've wrote a text or talked to somebody privately or cheated on something, every bit of that with AI in the next 24 to 36 months will be available to any kid, any kid to track down every single moment of our life and every conversation. Everything. Everything.
How is that even possible?
It's not
Well, how
impossible. It's already
is it
happening.
possible?
I came from the world. I came in 2005. I ratted out the government for doing this. Now this is all public domain. This is already being done. But
Yeah.
at the level that it is being done at right now is everybody has access to it. You see those NSA shows where they see you going. Well, they can do 100 times that.
Big brother.
And that is all available to the public in the next couple of years. So can you imagine? This is why I wrote down in our program, I wrote privacy is my disease. I'm like, it's all fucking coming out anyways. I might as well get it right now, take it on the chin. I'll be a hero rather than, like everybody else, the Me Too movement. I'll be the one that does it first. Yeah. So like if anybody listening to this broadcast, you have anything you're hiding, you are not going to hide it from anybody in the next couple of years. Nobody, nothing, zero. Anything you have done.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I feel like it's the most important thing is to have that relationship with source energy, right? With your God, whatever you want to call it, higher consciousness, Pachamama. Because if you can start the day with that and do those movements like you're doing with affirmations, etc., reprogramming our body and our life and our mind and living a transparent life.
Yes.
Because that's when you don't have to, I just show up as I am all the way
That's me.
through.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm the same person.
People are gonna meet their Jesus coming up soon.
Yeah.
And it's starting between now and June 20th. It's like
wild.
people are gonna meet their Jesus, and it's happening. I mean, I get people, we see it in mass. I see people getting cancer diagnoses and relationships breaking up and sicknesses all over the place. And it's not a small amount of people. It is 2/3 of every single person I talk to. And I have touching thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah. I mean, well, just what we've all been exposed to and what's going on in the next, in the last years. We've just begun to know about it. I mean, even when you told me, this is the way my brain works. Even when you told me, like, oh, Connecticut just like banned chemtrails. Great. What are they doing additional in their food? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just, like that's
Well,
that's
That's
that's where we're gonna go like that.
here's what's happening right now is the world is splitting into two. People are going to choose to live in fear, anger, shame, guilt, conspiracy, and they're going to go that way, and they're going to live in there until they get the crap kicked out of them, or until they leave this planet. Other people are going to go away, find their passion, their truth, their community, their tribe, and they're going to work, and they're going to coexist for a while, and then eventually all of this is going to go away.
Yeah, that's it. Just keep focusing on my two words, or one word I call it, is big love. Just keep focusing on that big love and that positive, just what you want to build instead of what's going on. Is that what I'm hearing you say? Focusing on
Yeah,
what you want to build?
yeah. I think love's a tough word because love is a judgment in
Hmm.
itself. Everybody wants peace, love, and light, but actually, presence or observation is the state of humanity. Love is an extreme, and so is hate or fear or anger or shame or guilt. They're just extreme ends of this scale.
I don't
So
know.
living in observation and participating in emotions, selectively is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
But like I get this all the time. There's Jason was talking to somebody earlier. I just want all the good stuff, peace, love, and light. And I'm like, yeah, the peace, love, and light don't live without darkness. Darkness ain't
Exactly.
evil. It's a
No,
balancer.
but I'm not saying love, and I think this is a falsehood to our culture, right? When we look at Greek, there's 9 different words for love.
Erope, uh,
Yeah, like whatever they all
eros,
are, right?
familia.
We just know one, and we know the way that society has conditioned us to view this. And then, some might say, okay, you understand God's love, and then people connect that with how they've been burned by the church or some other construct. But when we see love as like, look, I can have love for something or for someone. I can have that empathetic response, or I don't even have to. I could just make a decision to love. I could
You,
listen. My kids, sometimes I
you
don't
got
like
it
them,
right
but I
there.
love them.
You just
Huh?
said it. Make a decision. Love
Yeah,
is a decision,
yeah.
which is a
It's a
judgment.
decision. Is it? I mean, if I'm making a decision to drink water, is it a
Sure, it
judgment?
is. Absolutely.
What?
That's also judging the fact that you need it. I mean, listen, we live in the third dimension.
Yeah.
It is about measurement and judgment. A measurement is a judgment because there's an infinite flow of time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And if I
Yes.
take a snapshot of any 2 points, that's a measurement. A measurement judges that flow of time to my specificity.
But if it's a perception, you said it's the. What did you say? That wasn't a judgment. Perception.
Um, it's a recognition. I am that I am meant
Yes.
EYE. It wasn't I capitalized. So it's the observing
Yes.
of the experience. Like people go, okay, well, how could a loving creator create war or pain and suffering? And I'm like, well, because that's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
We didn't come here to have like not every. Some people came here to have pain, and I came here for the first 50 of my years of my life to go through painful experiences, so I can now be a part of this part of my life. And the judgment that pain was bad is the problem, not all the. If everybody's like, I live with a narcissist, it's all them, it's everybody else but me, and it's not. It's like it's look at whatever people picked out there, whatever you picked out there, whoever you are listening to this, you picked this shit.
Yeah.
You don't like it. You have the ability to change it, but you picked it. You're not a victim. You're not a circumstance. Every part of this journey was planned at some point, and we came here to have an experience. And if my experience was pain, then I'm going to go into that experience of pain. I'm going to look for why I came here.
I totally agree with you, and I feel that even with our parents, right? Like if we just break it down, because I can always see people's like face get triggered when it's like you picked your parents. I mean, I remember the moment that somebody said that to me, and it just went whoosh. I was like,
Yeah,
what? And total shifting,
because
right? Like,
you wouldn't be here without them,
yeah,
and you wouldn't be the person that you are, Jesse. You wouldn't be this badass, get it done, extreme, everything teacher, educator. You wouldn't be that. If one thing changed, you wouldn't be this person.
yeah, not at all, right? And it's so, I think there's that power that comes in it and that freedom, and going back to that I am. I mean, I get it now,
Yeah,
because it is not about the I, it's about the am.
yeah,
And
and the I was EYE.
Yeah.
observing it. That's why we've been tricked. It's why the Eye of Horus. That's why celebrities go like this. It's because they're shoving it in our face because we don't know. We are our words and our beliefs either limit us or liberate us. And so far we've used them to limit
Yeah.
us.
That's why I just love what you're doing, right? Because you can just step outside of there and just say, just hold up a mirror and say, hey, did you see this? Did you look at this from this perspective? And what you're doing with this much reach is really powerful. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel really
it's
honored to be a
it's
part of it.
it's about helping people. It's changing a narrative. Here's the narrative. Your narrative is that we're broke. We have a hard life. Everything's supposed to be hard. We have to work for everything that we get. That's our narrative.
Yeah.
But that simply isn't true because if manifestation works, then it works for everything. It doesn't selectively work, and manifestation doesn't only work when I work hard. Manifestation works on belief. And if I need to work to believe, then that's how it will work. But it works at the end of it. And everything I have in my life, I manifested. Everything.
Yeah. And I heard a line the other day too. Again, and it just said, "Woo woo works." Right? If we believe it, whatever it is, it works, and it's about conditioning that belief system. I've been working a lot with symbols lately. I got this book on manifestation symbols of just drawing them in the air and doing work with them, and again, just going back into our beliefs beyond words. Symbols are something it's beyond words, right? Like our subconscious, our higher self understands them.
We're symbolic by nature. Words came later on.
Yeah.
Like when we were in the fast, one thing that happened between the three of us, and this is why the fasting with somebody else is powerful, because I wouldn't have noticed this if it wasn't for two other people. And one other person, it still works, but that third person gave me a reference point. It gave me the ability to navigate where I was. When we were alone, we didn't talk. And
That's awesome.
And when people would come in, we had our cinematographer. He came in after a couple of days. He goes, "Hey, listen, I just got to tell you guys something." And like, what? He goes, "It's super uncomfortable that you guys haven't. We've been together. You haven't said like 5 words in 2 days, and we're still doing tasks. The only reason I talk to you is because I fear you don't understand or you don't understand. But if I look at you and you look at me and we're hungry, it's like, eat. That's it. But if I don't understand, it's like, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Do you want this or do you want that? Now I have to qualify that feeling. So when we were fasting, we had that sense like a baby and a mother. We didn't talk. And so symbols are very, very powerful. Words are the least language is the least powerful. Language is a definition of a sound. And if you take an oscilloscope and you look all around the world at words like love in every language, even though it sounds very different in other cultures, other languages, the word itself on the spectrum of frequency is virtually the same for every single language.
See, I didn't know that. And I'm like, one of my degrees is in linguistics. But I remember my experience when I was 14 years old. I left my family to go to Russia to help with an orphanage over there and open up a school and work with the kids in a camp. And I remember it was so transformative. I really feel like every kid needs to go on and do a mission trip, right? They need to
Sure.
see another culture. And actually, my son, at the end of the month, he's going to Ecuador to work with the tribal community that we work with. But I remember going over there, and the kids were wearing the same clothes every day. And one kid was crying because he lost his shoe in the mud, and if he went home, he didn't know what was going to happen to him because that was his only pair of shoes. And I just remember that moment of time. It just came at me so strong of like all anybody wants is to be loved. That's it. And we don't need language to communicate. If you can just feel into a heart
Yeah.
space, and we know people's movement,
Well,
we
the
know all of
original
it.
language is body language. So
Yeah.
in the fast, I could tell when Cynthia was going to be critical of me. She goes like that with her little finger on her left hand, and and
Wow.
and so we no longer process those symbols, but body language is the most effective because it doesn't it leaves the open interpretation to my relationship with the person or my feeling or my sense. So whereas language can take me away, like you can be artful with language and it can take me away from an idea or concept. But if I have a feeling and then I see a movement in the body, that's the most organic of all language.
Gary, can I just ask you, going back to this fast? It's like, okay, it's a 28-day fast. You did it with two other people, which is very powerful. But during this time, right? Like, what was your everyday protocol?
What
Like,
we did is we went into natures, we climbed mountains, we swam in lakes, we investigated because we could work for 4 hours a day, accomplish what we used to accomplish on 12.
yeah,
We had 16 hours a day that we weren't either cooking, eating, sleeping. Like we were sleeping 3 hours a day. So it's 8 hours a day that you're either cooking, cleaning up from cooking, acquiring food, thinking about it. So all of a sudden, we had this massive influx where all of human garage, the whole foundation of human garage, and this belief system was created during our fast. We literally created a new way. We took information and created a new way of understanding, explaining, and working with the human body during 44 days.
that's amazing. I'm really looking forward to going into it. And if anybody out there wants to do it with
It
me, let me know.
it's things are going to come up,
I
and
know.
this is why it's important to have a support group to do that. I just if you can find some people that are willing to do that with you, and not everybody, like especially if they're local. If it's local, it's a lot because you get the experience of being around people. Because when all of the emotions start coming off, like we're highly reactive to people's emotional states. When all of a sudden I'm no longer ping ponging off everybody's emotion, it changes me as a human being. That's where the change happens.
Yeah. I remember, I can't even imagine 28 days because I remember just 2 days, the ketones that just fire off. I remember it was in 2021 when we came back from our first plant medicine shamanic retreat to Ecuador. We came home and it took me a minute to just, get settled in. And then once January happened, it was like whoosh, all of a sudden I was fasting. I was waking up in the middle of the night, writing my first book. And I was like, I finished my doctorate, something that was like things that were hanging over me. I love like a list. I love doing goal setting. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that we've been conditioned to think about it in like a heavy sort of way, but I really love like I love getting things done for the mission, like right for the purpose and all of that. So it was amazing how like, oh my gosh, during that month of dipping in and out of fasts, I was just the creative power, the
Yeah,
surge,
yeah,
the
yeah.
heightened senses and
Now
sensitivities.
wait till you
I
habituate that. That's the thing. It's that
Yeah,
when that becomes your normal state of being, like my brain, when it's scanned, the last several EEGs I've done, I'm 100% gamma.
wow,
That means that I don't have theta, beta, alpha. It doesn't exist in my brain,
it's
which means
awesome,
basically I'm on psilocybin 24/7. So,
amazing.
and I believe the fast had a lot to do with that. It was a habituating a new state of awareness. And um, the one thing, by the way, so for people who want to get into fasting, the way that we have our keto fuel, which puts the body into, that's what it's designed for. I mean, we have professional athletes that use it because on an empty stomach, your body's on ketones, so you're not hungry. Your blood sugar doesn't drop, but that puts the body in ketogenesis in 45 minutes, keeps it there for 6 hours. So that first 3 to 5 days when you're going into the fast, that fascial fuel literally takes away the hardest part of it, and so you're in that ketone state. You're in ketogenesis right away.
That's amazing. I'm gonna definitely check out that product.
Yeah, it's bizarre because you take it and all of a sudden you're not hungry, you got lots of energy, you take it on empty stomach. And it's a good way for people because I suggest people intermittent fast because it's not about just not eating food. It's about the habits that go along with not eating food. Like for example, like we had a team of scientists, brain scientists and body scientists come in and live with us for 6 weeks. And what they were doing was they were testing us, photonic scans, bioscans, brain scans, and but what they did is they brought as a husband and wife team because they had to live with us. So they brought their kids. So they ate every day. At first, we didn't eat with them, and then after a while, the kids were like feeling uncomfortable that we wouldn't eat with them. So we went and sat down to the table and with them for dinner. Well, that takes a whole different there's a point of what happens around you because we went to this one dinner with a bunch of doctors and they prepared this whole spread for us and we weren't eating. They found out we weren't eating. Well, guess what? They virtually didn't eat, but it wasn't like they said anything. People change their behavior around you when you don't eat. And then the other part too is everybody's, hey, are you sure you're going to be okay? You might die. This isn't good. I mean, there's all this weird behavior. So I suggest people go into intermittent fasting, then 3-day fasting, then 6-day fasting. But for me, I did a 3-day fast, and then 6 months later, I did a 44-day fast. I'm a Sagittarius, so just like give me the
Yeah,
max.
that's good. I mean, I learned so much about this. I'm a little shell shocked. I want to ask you, what do you think about coffee enemas?
I mean, they all have their place. When our bodies are really stressed out, you give your body heroin or coffee or any drug to that extreme, fires adrenaline, norepinephrine, cortisol, and boom, it comes out. But if you're drinking urine, you don't need it.
Okay.
And there's no need to tax your adrenals at that level and your hormones at that level because you're going to have a drop. I mean, don't get me wrong, they work, and I have done them. But knowing what I know now, it's everything to remove adrenaline, remove stress from our bodies, not add it. Like if I'm doing yoga and I'm stretching a muscle, that's stress. Now my body will spike in stress hormones and then come down, and I feel calm. That causes, but that my body has to. That's a hormone balancing. If I do a fascial maneuvers, I don't stress. I just go straight down, and serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin come up.
So what does it look like for you these days? Because like you're incredibly fit. Obviously you're flexible. You're really healthy. You know, I'm
I
I'm I definitely
I
don't lift
I
weights
do
like
I
I
do
used. You
I
know.
do like 20 minutes a day worth of maneuvers, if that. When I can move, like when I'm in Canada, I can climb and move. I do that. I do not do exercise anymore. I don't like the premise of exercise. I spent my life in a gym.
Yeah.
And so if I can move in nature and that's my exercise, great. I do a few little rotations on the beach. And that's about it. I eat plant-based. But the biggest impact to my physical health is my managing of my emotions.
Yeah.
And I live in a community where if you got something and you're not saying it, with all these psychic empathic people around, you don't have a choice. It's like 24/7 therapy. So the greatest attributes was because we had done everything right for years, but then we lived in a community and you have all of this coming in. Then I really realized that it's the emotions at the end of it. Really, it's how I manage my emotional state is more powerful and has more impact than what I do with my food and my supplements and stuff like that. I mean, those are important, but the impact comes from the emotional state.
Definitely. I can't agree with you more. I mean, first of all, being in terms of community, and that's really what we created, Peter and I, with our center, is just that community aspect of people who are looking for more in that respect. But then also I think about like the years in the school system, in an old building that's concrete, no windows, mold issues, like the stress, right? And then the kids not,
Schools
I
are
mean, what a
prisons.
broken
Schools
system, you
Those are
know?
prisons. They're prisons. It's a Dungang education system brought over by China. Separate the child. If you
So bad.
read the Underground History of American Education by John Taylor Gatto,
Yeah.
and then you'll get it.
Oh,
You'll understand why they did it.
yeah. I've seen some of it. Not that book, but I've gone down that rabbit hole too and seen
But
some
you
of
were
it.
and look at you're designed to build a community. That's what you're here for. That's why. But so the but and that's
I love
and
people. I love people. I love helping
the
people.
ingredients are coming soon, and it's probably not going to be what you think.
Cool.
And uh,
Well,
I think I see in the next couple of 3 years, 3 to 5 years, I see mass migrations. I see borders eroding, governments and systems coming down. And there has to be the old has to go away for the new to come in. I don't even. It's at the point where my little brain doesn't even have the ability to perceive what's going to happen. I just know it's going to happen.
yeah. And I guess it's just about following our intuition and keep stepping in the right places alongside the right people.
Yeah, when we don't follow our intuition, we step in shit.
Yeah. I mean, what's really funny is like, I just love to learn. Right? When I was younger, I almost got kicked out of high school. Once I had that switch go off in my head, like, no offense to anybody, but I can't work at McDonald's, like once I had that switch go off in my head, and then I was just like on my path of like discipline, mind, body, spirit, all of this sort of thing. And what was the point that I was saying? I forgot right there.
So
But
so so you've got a center in Connecticut.
yeah, so now we're working with. So then, I started studying metaphysics and got certified with Kundalini when I was 16 and 18 years old, right? Like I was in this, and then years later, come full circle. All of a sudden, Peter is very psychic, my husband, or prophetic, however you want to call it, and he was just like, I think we should be enrolled in this program. So all of a sudden we get like our minister's license, we get our PhDs, this sort of thing. Don't know why, it was just there on the shelf. And then all of a sudden we got approached by the Connecticut Psychedelic Association because Connecticut is working on decriminalizing and passing the laws for psilocybin use in plant medicine. And we have the background now. And I mean, we take people on retreats, but it's in like it's not just about plant medicine, right? It's like in a very honored and holy way if they're ready, right? We interview people for that
It's a
process.
shift. It's a
It's a
shift. I mean,
shift. It's a big
we we
shift.
we demonize the things that help us.
Yeah.
Like we demonize boric acid. We demonize diatomaceous earth. We demonize psilocybin, ketamine, plant medicines, ayahuasca, all that. We're like, oh, we're all scared of that. I wouldn't do that. But we have the most acidic of all the drugs, which is food. And then we use alcohol, which is the worst on the human body, the human nervous system. There's nothing worse that you can put in your body than alcohol. Nothing, literally. And we've made that an industry, like a society standard. So it's time that the truth comes out. And right now, people, the reason why psychedelics are coming up. I mean, I was practicing in California clinically, and all of my functional medicine doctors, medical doctors, and DOs and stuff like that, they were using plant medicine with their patients, and it was all behind the counter, and it was like open. You could go buy a bottle of psilocybin slash LSD slash whatever they had as a spray, and now they're using psychedelics to take people off of pharmacology because they're addicted to pharmacology.
Yeah. I mean, the Amazon is nature's pharmacy, right? Like we have all the answers right
That's
there.
why they're tearing it down.
Yeah, and all the answers inside of us. Can I go back though real quick? I'm like still on this 28-day fast. I'm a little, ADD. I like to bounce around. But in terms of like the boric acid and diatomaceous earth and the sea moss, during that 28 days, are those good supplements to
Yes, you
take?
should. Absolutely 100%
Okay.
because your body is severely demineralized if you live anywhere in the 80 countries in the world that are even remotely industrialized.
Yeah.
So our bodies are severely demineralized, and this is what's happening. Healthy people are getting sicker because they're lacking silica. For you specifically, selenium is the next one. And then I would take those two exogenously separately, and then have Irish sea moss and bladder rack, and then get those in there because those minerals are how your body could hold, absorb water, and build the pathways to clean your system. It needs every one of those minerals is like a button that presses in your nervous system somewhere.
It's so funny too because the silica is something I never thought about. I mean, I take like in the last whatever year tons of minerals,
Yeah, but that's why
but
you're still looking for the answer. You're doing exactly what I said. You're doing everything right, and there's a missing piece still. That missing piece is without silica, you can't absorb the minerals. And silica is depleted by barium. Barium is sprayed in the skies. It is. It is. We're talking. It is death by 1,000 cuts. You
Oh
know.
my
Then you
God.
got the PAFs. You've got the glyphosates. You've got the oil-based petroleums. You've got the medications that we keep injecting and taking. It's like we've got for women. It's all. I mean, it is in the last 20 years. What's happened to perfume and care products? Like 20 to 30 years ago, a tampon was cotton. Today, it's a cigarette with it's literally a cigarette with bleach, pesticides, and glyphosate.
So bad.
I tell women all the time, you're better off to chew and swallow your tampon than you are to insert it, because at least you get the protection of the acids and the filtering of your stomach.
I'm like, Jesus, so what do we do? I mean, you get an organic cotton, but that doesn't say
Well,
glyphosate free.
you can.
Yeah.
There's lots of it you can find. And this is the journey. This is why the 28-day reset. This is why the Lifestyle Artist Program, because we have thousands of people all over the world that are going through these programs and they're sharing with each other because you can't know everything everywhere. And, we get to Mexico and it's like every one of the toilet paper we have here, it's like walking through a Sephora in a mall. You're having to find it. And it's different here than it is in Canada or the United States. I have different options. So it's about people starting to learn how to test their bodies, be okay, and understand how their bodies work, and then share it with other people.
Yeah.
And that's how this works. We heal in community. There is no centralized source, including Human Garage. We are not the centralized source for all your information. We are giving you the tools to learn how to use and trust your body.
That's it. That's it. You are the medicine. That's it.
That's it.
And and when people come into our center, like how I train the staff and just in general, is like, and going back to Tony Robbins years ago with that movie, with that docu movie, I'm not your guru. Like, I'm not your guru.
Oh,
I
it was
don't,
funny one
I know what,
because he was actually telling people, "I am your guru" by doing it.
yeah,
That was a that was But the
moving over
comment
from
was
him.
right. But to come to my seminar and follow my course.
Yeah,
The reason why fascial maneuvers is free is because it's a basic truth of life, and everybody should have access to it, irrespective. And it's being taught now in schools and
yeah,
colleges and hospitals, being used by doctors. We just got scientific citing in papers here. We got a citing the other day. It was beautiful.
that's awesome. But going back, it's like we can only give people foundational elements, right? They have to do the work. They have to see how their body feels, and that's the premise of our wellness center too. It's like, okay, well, it's more of an educational center that looks really nice,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, here's the information about all the services. Come try some. Come do a demo day. Try it out and see what your body feels like, and also learn about it and learn how to tap back in and not to be afraid of that and to listen to it because it's the
Yeah.
medicine.
It is. I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm interested to see.
Thanks, my
You'll find
friend.
that one of your strongest things to help people, because you want to scale and you can only do a limited amount in a center, is to start run programs. Use the 28-day reset, get people to go on it, coach them through it. That's one of the most powerful things. And we have people that do this all the time. They actually charge for coaching services to coach people through the program because that's a way to exchange energy and that. But take people through the 28-day reset, get involved in the Lifestyle Artist Program, get involved in the bigger community. We have a community of practitioners and doctors and moms and dads and coaches and students all over the world that are learning how to help people in a new way.
I love that. Thanks for doing all of that. And you know what? I want my husband to come on one day. He's at the firehouse today, but yeah, he's really cool. I think you'd love him.
Yeah, I was
You guys are very
at the
aligned.
firehouse where it's hot healing.
I know, hot healing, exactly. And
Okay,
two
it's
firesides. Thank
awesome
you so much.
talking to you, Jessica.
Okay, be blessed. Have a great day.
Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Happy 11.
Jessica Justice, PhD, doctor, out there in Connecticut. Yes, let's talk about Ella De Fonte. Hey, listen, hold on 1 second. I'm going to let you guys stare at there for a second. I have a sudden emergency bathroom break. I don't know why. It's like my son says, he goes to the bathroom and he goes, geez, I'm wasting it. Elena de Fuentes. I think that's what it is. Let's try and see if we can do this. I tried to bring you up before. It's Elena de Fuentes, and it didn't work. Got to run, Gary. Thank you so much. That was fast. Yes. I'm Sagittarius. Fast. Fast. You know why? You know why the snail painted an S on the side of his car, right? And so when he would go by fast, everybody would go, "Look at that S car go." If you have the urge to overeat, most likely you're not absorbing nutrients. That comes from a blockage in the small intestines. It also comes from being in stress. And if your body is in stress, physically or emotionally, and you eat, your body can't absorb the nutrients, can't process the nutrients. So those are the things. 28-day reset is the best and fastest way out of that. Okay, Ellen De Fuentes. I tried it again. I gave you a shot. I don't know why. I think you need to check and make sure that you can go live on your Instagram. It might be some of the settings blocked. Let's try Lexi Michelle. Lexi Michelle. Escargot. Look at that escargot. Yes. Yes, snail. And I have a million dad jokes, by the way. They just come up naturally.
He does.
Yes. Yeah, I have evidence of that too. I have people around me. How do you know so much about astrology? I use an app called Serious Joy. You can get to it. It trains you in astrology, and because like there's lots of great astrologers out there. And I was talking to a friend, Missy. She's an astrologer, and she knows so much, and I'm like, whoa. It's very likely that I'm ever going to learn that much. But what I can do is this app has helped me take and integrate it throughout the day by keeping me on track with statements that lead me in the right direction. And then I perceive more about my astrology. So you go to Serious Joy, you go to our website, go to our products and our partners, and sign up under Serious Joy. You can try it out for $4. Give that a shot. Okay, I'll try you again, Lexi Michelle. Lexi Michelle 3. You have a brace on your teeth? No. That's mastic gum. Literally, it's just a coating of mastic gum. Lexi Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for calling me up.
Yeah.
I always get our talks.
How you doing?
Doing okay. Dealing with a lot. It's like I can feel the
Well, you're in the States now,
yeah,
right?
I'm in the States. Oh, also I'm Alexandra and my birthday is July 21st. I'm a 28.
And you're 28-degree Cancer. And where in the States are you right now?
I'm in Florida.
You're in Florida. Where in Florida?
Central Florida.
Is that like what's the town or?
Right now I'm in Orlando, but I'm like looking to live in Winter Park.
Okay.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah. So life's got a little bit tricky over the last month or two.
Yeah, it has. It's like it's kicking the heck out of me, but I'm really trying to embrace it. I'm really trying to step into it and see what's coming up. What can I how can I dive deeper into this? Like dive into the portal and like let the shadows come up. Like I heard what you were saying earlier about life can't just be all love and light. It has to be like going into the shadow side as well.
Yeah.
Trying to find that balance because I feel like I've been in the shadows for so long and I'm ready to step into the love and light portion, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's also physical stuff that's going on. Is David also having some issues?
He's been feeling stressed, yeah, for sure. He's blood pressure too, so I'm trying to like help him take more time for himself and be calm. It's just the stress of finding a place to live. I know I'm like completing a cycle right now, and I know this is happening for a reason. It's like every door that was gonna open, close, slam shut, slam shut.
Well, that's because those weren't the doors; those were your ego's doors, and the real doors. It like like we're running a, as you know, because you guys have participated, David's worked with us. So we're running a pretty big worldwide organization with hundreds and hundreds of volunteers, and and sometimes it's like we have, okay, we're not going to do this anymore, and that means like heavy lifting. That means that we're not just picking our own luggage up and moving around. We're like moving. We're like, it's like moving mountains or buildings. But what I found is that going through this is that where the issue was is that I set an expectation of where I wanted to go. That expectation was the issue.
Mm.
And because I set the expectation, it's like the saying, man plans, God laughs.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening to you right now. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
you've got that cancer, I'm going to do it this way and everything like that, and then all of a sudden God's like, well, I don't think you got my message yet, so here we go. And they start pulling the plug on things.
That's interesting. I've been hearing this strong message of surrender, which we talked about, and exactly that, let go of control, and more of letting go of the illusion of control, that I don't have
We
control. And
don't have any control. We have zero control. And we're in Capricorn season right now. So what's happening is we're in Capricorn season, and today we're step 20. This is Cancer Capricorn. So this is about control of how you care for yourself, control of your feelings. You're feeling the desire to protect your feelings, protect your community, control, and it's all about control right now. Control. When we try to control, we get anger, frustration as the primary ones that come out of that.
yeah.
So and you know what I'm talking about. It's coming up, right?
I love what you're saying. I feel it, because it's exactly the words that have been coming up for me, is like, let go of control, surrender, step into the unknown, step into this uncomfortable feeling, and everything is happening for the highest good, and whatever happens is for the best good. And that's what my highest self is saying. And then I
Yeah.
feel that, I feel like my inner child, all the fear, and I just let it. I just say, okay, I hear, thank you for coming up. It's time to release this old story. It's not my truth, but I know it's been stuck in me for
You know
time.
what I did a couple years ago during Capricorn? I rolled up in a ball and I was in pain because I was trying to control my emotions.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was in physical pain right here. Couldn't do anything. I'd get up to have a meeting and then all of a sudden I'm puking. I'd be rolling down. I was 2 a.m. I was bathing every hour and a half, trying to get rid of the pain. I was taking ketamine, a low dose ketamine. I was doing psilocybin. I was doing anything to avoid the pain. And the pain was me not wanting to give up the control of my emotions. So it just kept getting worse and worse. I recorded an end of life video because I was in so much pain, and there was nothing physically wrong with me. I mean, it's intense, man, when you're going through this. And if you grew up in the South, it would have, like in Texas, it would have been no problem. It would have been, let go and let God, girl. But you didn't
That's my
have that. You didn't have that growing up in
no.
wherever you grew up, Chile.
My mom grew up in Texas,
Did
actually.
she?
She probably actually grew up with Finnish heritage, so it was more be tough, like push through, like
Yeah.
just yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the attitude of humans. It's like be
Yeah.
tough, push through. But that no longer works.
Mm.
That was a strategy in the age of Pisces when it was dark and light,
And don't
up
feel your
and down. Yeah, we're in the age of Aquarius, man. This is the age there's no more black and white. There's gray, and there's shades of it, and there's more than 50 shades, if you know what I mean. So, this is an age of consension. This is an age in which there is no right or wrong anymore, because your right and your wrong is inside of you, and my holding on to either one of those, my right or my wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm holding on to my right or my wrong. I'm going to get punished by the universe right now, and that's what's happening to people. And it's I have a prediction. I have a prediction that by Tuesday you're gonna feel like you're on a different planet. You're coming to. I know your astrology. You're coming to a. You're coming to a point,
I
and by
feel it.
Tuesday you are going to be on a completely different part of this curve.
Uh,
It's going to feel
I,
like you had a near death
mm,
experience.
I've had probably 500 of those. Yeah, I
This
feel
this
it
one's
though.
coming. This one's going to be the mother of all near death
Okay,
experiences for people.
thank you. I had one of those last month actually when I went to the hospital. So
Yeah. Well, you're just yeah. That was just prepping you for what's coming. That's all. Yeah. So people are going to go through it. They're going to wake up and like, how did I get here? Like, what's happening? Why am I
mm,
here? That's literally what's going to happen. So we have a purpose that we came to this planet for, and simultaneously, a large portion of the population is going to realize that purpose at the same time.
mm, yeah. Why punished? Why you said when you said before punished?
Well, punished is a euphemism that means if you're not in alignment, it's going to hurt. But if
Mm,
you're in alignment, it's not going to hurt. It's
mm,
going to be a door gracefully opening. But that door is going to gracefully open, or you're going to be catapulted like a cannon at it, and you're going to splat against it. It's going to open.
yeah.
Yeah, either at the price of your body going in it, or gracefully opening it. It just depends on how much what you said surrender,
Mm,
how much resistance people have. And what are we resisting? Like when we say, give up all your possessions and follow me, and you shall find the kingdom of heaven, or whatever that is. He wasn't talking about cars and money and stuff like that. He was talking about angers, fears,
mm,
shames, guilt, stories that keep us trapped and
yeah.
enslaved. And that's what I went through. Because it was funny because from the time I got out of prison, I basically started giving away everything I owned to the point where I have nothing that I physically own. Like nothing. Zero. Nothing. I have shirts and shorts and a knapsack that I need to replace, backpack I need to replace. And but what came through that journey is I'd been giving up things, and I thought that's kind of the journey. I thought that's what I'm supposed to do, and I didn't even want to buy anything new. I just wear my clothes out until they're dead. And then it was like, oh, that's not what I needed to give up. I needed to give up this fear about not being safe, about not having money, this fear about not being accepted, and this fear of, and that's what was I was giving up.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah, like people say this journey is a cakewalk. They forgot to inform me that it was pound cake. I'm like, it's angel food cake. I'm in my new life. I'm enlightened. I'm woken up. I'm going to walk through this journey. And it was like walking through mud.
Yeah.
And, but I was the one that caused that. I could go back and change it. Now, I walked through such a hard path so I could stand here in front of you and tell you it doesn't have to be this
Yeah.
hard.
I appreciate that. I hear that because yesterday I was writing, just kind of pouring out my heart about surrendering and stepping into the unknown. And I had this thought of like, you usually have to get to your breaking point to let go. Like, why do we go to our breaking point? You know, why do we go to this pain? And it's so we learn to let go. And I thought, what if you just let go before you get to the breaking point? Like, okay, yeah, sometimes you need to get to that point. You need to
So
face
you
things, but
never ever have to. It's like you're going to remember this one. I don't want you to forget. This is a lesson, and sometimes. So let me look at it another way, or give you another way to look at it. I used to, there's a saying, like I used to pray for a lighter load. Now I pray for bigger shoulders to carry the load. And I used to like, ugh, I hate you guys every time they say that. But the reality that I find now is it's like, when is it over? When do I never have this problem again? And I'm like, no, the beauty was the situation. My reaction to it is what made it not beautiful anymore. Because all those doors that are closing, that means for every door that closes, one has to open. That's the universal principle. But if I'm angry at the doors closing or fearful, I don't see the other ones opening. That's all.
mm, yeah. That's what I've exactly what I've been seeing, that just surrender. If a door closes, a better one, it's because there's something better for you. And I've been saying that. I've been saying, okay, show me the right path. If this is not the right thing for us, close the door and open the right one, and I will walk through it. Even if I can't see how, I'm just
So, so
surrendering.
here's a word, because words are powerful. So here's a way that I walk through those situations. It's like I laugh visibly. Like, when you go to a sitcom and they get that fake laugh,
Yeah.
it still drives oxytocin, even if it's fake. So I go, Oh, boy, jeepers. I can't wait to see how this one's going to work out. And I do that every time I have an obstacle now because I know that the laughter is firing the hormones. I know that I'm putting into the universe. I can't wait to see how this is going to work out. Like, boy, I never saw that coming. This is going to be an interesting one, and it takes away 75 to 80% of the pain of that situation goes away.
Yeah. I remembered you saying that in the past, and I said that a couple of days ago. When one of the places we were looking at living at, it's like we did so much work and it fell through at the last minute. And I just was like, hey, remember what Gary said? I was like, remember when he was traveling through Costa Rica and it took him like 20 hours and he just laughed and said, ha, I wonder how this is gonna work out. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I just have to laugh right now. Like I can't I can't. It's like it was like the worst possible timing on everything. Like we had to move out of our Airbnb and like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And I was just like, okay, this is because something better is coming. This is taking us through a transformation. Like,
And the better is coming is usually encapsulated in the
mm,
details. So while I'm going through that, trying to recover from whatever I think was supposed to happen, the judgment of what was supposed to happen, right there at that's the crisis point. That's where the opportunity is. But I can't see it if I'm in that crisis
mm,
mode.
mm,
So then I have to wait for another one to come up and then another one to come up. And finally the universe is like, okay, listen, you're not going to get this. I'm going to give you a really shitty place to move into because you're not going to get it, and you'll figure it out later on. But so so it's like, and it's a skill like anything else. I mean, we've been trained into fear, but we didn't happen overnight. As kids, we didn't fear automatically.
mm,
We were trained into fear. So now we can extract ourselves out of these fearful moments, and we can relearn the behaviors that go along with trust.
mm.
Somebody
Yeah.
said, I was talking to a friend of mine, and and I said, well, when you have a belief, you need evidence to support that belief. Like it's going to work out. I don't see the evidence yet. Well, you get evidence, you can support your belief until there's a point where you no longer need evidence, and that's called faith. And he goes, oh, you mean blind faith? And I said, the only person who would call it blind faith is somebody who doesn't have it.
Mm,
There's it's about developing faith. Your life right now is teaching you to develop faith that things will work out because you're so used to things not working out. But
yeah. And
that story's gone.
can you say the part again about how when I want to understand better when you're in the crisis mode and you have to come out of the crisis mode to see the opportunity, or you keep getting the same
At
pattern?
at at the peak of a crisis, at the exact moment that crisis peaks is where the opportunity sits. And my ability to see it depends on my attitude or my perception at that exact moment. And if I'm in the anger, fear, sadness, guilt, shame of that moment, I won't see that opportunity right away. It takes me time to see it, like maybe a month or a year. Like when I was in prison, that was my opportunity for change. At the time, I chose to make it, and I said, I'm going to write 1,000 reasons why this is good for me, because I
Mm,
knew that that was the opportunity. That
yeah.
the darkest moment of every day is the exact moment before the sun rises.
Mm,
It's being ready at that moment. It's extracting the wisdom of the moment is to be in observance and non-judgmental. But if I it has to be this way. Everything was right. I did everything I was supposed to. And if it's not this way, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm fearful, I'm shamed. I will not see that opportunity. It'll come around again, but it
mm,
may take a week, a month, a year. It may take 10 years, depending on the size and the scale. The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity.
mm.
And that's a universal principle. That's a law.
I feel that. I have I have been surrendering, so I know that that just means the right thing is coming.
Every time you say surrender, I think of my buddy in Pakistan.
'Cause-
His name's Surrender. Every time you say surrender, he's on my mind right now.
Really?
I gotta, yeah.
Yeah, we should reach out to him. That's interesting. Yeah, it's also interesting because today is Cancer or Capricorn full moon or new moon. I'm a Cancer sun and a Capricorn
And it's a
moon.
Cancer day. It's a step 20,
Yeah.
right? So, and then we're going from the new moon into rocket ship Sagittarius 21. So it's Sagittarius, Grandmaster Sagittarius, and Cancer and Capricorn. So
Wow. And
it's going
David's a
to be,
Sagittarius rising.
yeah, yeah. So this is, you're just coming right now to your, this is all of the stuff that has to get squeezed out of you right now. It's all of those old emotions. And if it wasn't coming out, it's using this situation over your, where you live as a way of getting all that out. And if it wasn't for that situation, it could be injury, disease, it could be something bad in the world. So this is actually a pretty light way of
I
getting it
was
out.
thinking about that actually. I was like, if I have to go through something that's challenging, I'm thankful that this is what it is. Like this was meant for me. I've been through so many things and that made me stronger, and now maybe the load is getting lighter in a sense each time.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're coming to, it's a retraining of your nervous system. It's like when a car backfires, like, oh my God, I'm being shot at. Well, after it happens 1,000 times, it's like, oh, it's a car backfiring. And then after 1,000 times more, I didn't even notice it. So what happens is, but the guy beside me goes, oh, I'm being shot at. It's a retraining of your nervous system because our bodies have been trying to talk to our brains and our brains have been programmed not to listen to us. And so
Mhm.
this relationship has to come back into balance. And this is what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 1221 right now, the time. And now it's 1222. And twos are my numbers.
Yeah. So,
Also, someone said, invite in the miracles, make room for them. And I watched a video of another person saying, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. And I love that.
yeah,
That's
you
when
know
it's the
it,
hardest.
and the other part of that is because some people hear that and they go and they just keep going at the problem, which is step back and let it happen. I don't have to work. We're in the age of Aquarius. We don't have to work so hard anymore to get
Yeah.
what we want.
I resonate with that. I found myself stepping into that energy more this time, whereas in the past I would like try to force things and make them work and it has to be this way. And this time I was like, nope, I'm just gonna do less. I just take each step forward, do what I have to do, one step at a time, and
The
let
beauty's in
it happen.
the step. The beauty's in the step. You'll find it. So
Yeah.
listen, I'm excited to hear what this looks like next week after
Okay,
Monday.
cool. And I'm a few days behind, but I'm also doing the reset. Even
Awesome.
though with no house, I'm doing it, and so I'm proud of
Yeah,
myself.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so that's great. So we'll talk to you
Okay.
next week.
And one more thing I want to say before I go. I was thinking earlier this morning, it's funny, before I even knew I was going to go live, I was thinking just how grateful I am for you and your team and what you're doing and how much it takes. And you guys are doing a lot.
I mean,
Like
you see
you're dealing
you
with
see
so many
behind the
people.
scenes stuff too because you got David there. You can see what we're
Yeah.
doing.
And I saw it before too. I feel the hearts of what you guys are doing, and I just have a lot of gratitude and appreciation because you're a human and you're stepping out and doing this wholeheartedly for so many people, and you're impacting and changing so many people's lives and providing this service for free because you're passionate about it and because that's your heart, and you're just helping so many people, and I do feel a lot of gratitude for that and for
Appreciate
you.
that.
So thank you.
Okay, talk to you
Bye.
next week.
Okay.
Okay, bye. That was an awesome talk. Uh, Emery Hubbard. Hey, City Lotus. How you doing out there in New York City? We got classes in New York. You got Mondays. Hey, Anne-Marie. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm doing well.
So tell everybody, yeah, well, we know your name,
Yeah.
Anne-Marie. When's your birthday and where are you living?
My birthday is March 5th and I live in Columbia, South
Do you
Carolina.
know, are you a 13 or a 14 degree? Do you know? I can't remember.
I sent that to you, so I don't remember offhand.
Uh, Be somewhere. I wonder if I
Yeah.
have it. You did send it.
Yeah.
Was that to my personal one or to that? Or
Personal.
is that to the human?
It was personal.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it on there. Yeah, because it's funny. It's funny because I think I told you, right? You're Cynthia's astrology.
Yes, which I was trying to figure out because I have so much Pisces, but my moon is Capricorn.
Well, hers is Scorpio, and she's a Capricorn midheaven with lots of Capricorn in her chart.
Yeah.
So you guys are like twisted sisters.
Nice. Yeah. So, my question is,
Oh, by the
because
way,
yes,
Aziza Art, Aziza, Aziz, Isa, Aziza Art. You actually are a doppelganger, and she is also she's a Capricorn. Sorry, Sagittarius Capricorn, but you're a doppelganger to her, like face structure, look, hair, eyes, everything. Mhm.
really nice. I, I I so appreciate everything that you guys are doing, especially how you show up in the community. It just completely resonates.
Thank you.
And it's also gifted me an opportunity to trust my intuition and come back to my body in a way that has been grounding, nourishing, and really resetting my nervous system. Like I'm sharing with everybody. I'm like, if you have not done fascia maneuvers, you need to check out Human Garage.
Thank
Just
you.
it has really brought such a groundedness to my body again.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
important. And what do you do for a living again? Can't remember.
So currently I'm a property manager
Yeah.
at a private university. But I really am looking to shift out of that.
To helping and healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you were born to. And you have kids?
Yes, I have two kids. I've got a son that's in New York and a daughter that's in Georgia and a
Oh,
grandbaby.
grandbaby. When's your grandbaby's birthday?
June 15th.
Oh my gosh, Brainiac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is probably at 25, probably a Grandmaster Gemini, probably a 25, 23 degree. Should run his chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he that one there is going to need a lot of mental stimulation.
Yes. Yeah.
Going to figure out the whole world. So what? How long have you been doing fashion maneuvers now?
So I've been following you guys for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks. But personally, I've been doing fashion maneuvers since I could remember. So it was interesting. I think it was probably 2014, 15 when I was doing like pressure points on myself, laying down on the ground. And I was like, wow, I wonder if the body stores emotion, because I would start crying when I would start doing things. And that was before I even knew any of this stuff. So
Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's why it's free to the world, because it's a basic truth, right? It's a human truth.
Yeah. And so yeah, I've always had I realize that my body stores emotion. So I love the way that you have brought the simplicity when it comes to the fascia and the water and the element and the movement. So it just brings everything together, and I just absolutely love it. I love it. So
For what's the little one's name?
Easton.
So what really works well for him is fascial maneuvers on the hands, the finger twist, the wrist, the elbow, and then the head work. Like just a light antler twist. And because when you use his fingers, his brain's gonna light up like bling.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Easton.
Easton, say hi to Gary. He was actually smiling earlier while you guys were talking. I was like, say hi to Gary. Say hi, Gary.
Hi, Easton. You're my doppelganger. You're my opposite, actually. You're my you're Grandmaster Gemini. I'm a Grandmaster Sag. Welcome to this planet. Yeah, you'll get lots of we don't do this in our culture. We treat kids as stupid that we gotta educate, but In advanced cultures, in history, the grandmothers and the grandparents would go to the young kids and they would listen and talk to them for wisdom.
Yeah.
So Easton's sharing wisdom with you right now.
Yeah. Remind you to be present.
Yes.
Present fully in the moment.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm so glad that you're doing the maneuvers.
Yes.
Glad that you checked in. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in a couple months. It was saying there you look like you're in your 20s. Everybody was saying.
Say hi. I do have one quick question.
Sure.
What is there any sense that comes through as far as transition is concerned? Like how to honor emotions in transition and not push the creative newness that I feel like is still being birthed and moved through?
You have a tendency to do too many things physically to satiate your mind. Like you go places and do stuff. So being a little less, being more comfortable sitting in the uncomfortable moments when you feel like you have to do things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
Reach out to Cynthia. You guys, you have an interesting conversation, I'm sure.
All right. All right. Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
It's been an interesting day. New moon. Excited about the new moon. Amani? Wow. Repeal.
Oops, sorry.
Hello.
Hi. How
Hi, how are you?
are you? You caught me in my bedroom. I'm cleaning up and putting some laundry away while I was listening to you guys.
So tell everybody, because they're getting to know you, tell them your name and your company and your
Hi,
birthday.
hi, everyone. My name is Amani. My birthday is April 18, 1990. And we're the founders of Survival Moss,
Which we love.
which is yeah, we love you guys. It's just was a passion project that birthed from my illness with MS, and it was just wanting to navigate through holistic ways naturally, and we came across Irish sea moss, and we just wanted to share that with the world. So that's a bit of our story.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
things are really changing. I can actually see a change in you since the last time we talked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel different. I feel different.
That's literally one. I mean, outside the maneuvers and stuff, but that's silica makes such a difference
I got
in
I got
transformation.
my shirt on too. I've got my shirt. I'm so excited. I've been doing the fascia myself like every day. And when I don't do it, I feel a little bit off. So it's become part of my like weekly routine. I'm going to Ikwe's class on Sunday, I think.
Yay! Yeah,
Yeah, so exciting.
yeah, that is pretty cool. So, what have you noticed, Ash, out of curiosity, since you've been taking CMOS? A lot of people are doing that. What have you noticed since you started adding in diatomaceous earth?
So obviously like the hair, skin, nails, all that benefits, but just also because I have MS. I like to say it's a past thing. I don't have it anymore,
Yeah.
but I get inflammation from time to time, and so if I feel a little tired or it just helps me just get those minerals in. It kind of gives me a little boost again the next day, and so it's something that I like to implement. And when I don't take it, I feel a little off.
It makes a big difference. It does. And you know what? Because you can notice it in your hair. Your hair
Mhm.
noticeably looks different and your skin tone looks different.
Yeah. It's getting thicker. Like I just got out of the shower, so my hair usually just gets flat after a shower, but still feels, yeah, it feels nicer. I like it. Everyone get on the silica, the dietitious just herbs and sea moss. It totally is noticeable. You notice the impacts within weeks. So
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And again, I love what you guys do with the freeze dried. I mean, that's the best part about it is that it's easy to transport and carry. It just because
hmm
I prefer to take survival moss than I do to take fascial Flow.
So,
I prefer to ingest it that way. I mean, I do that both depending on my circumstances, but I still prefer always to take it in its natural form.
it's really nice to just implement into your everyday food, and it gets easier as you start to get more creative with it. With us, we do the gels for locals. The CMOS freeze dry just allows us to kind of share what we've learned with the rest of the world, because we don't add any preservatives or any additives, artificial things to our products. And so the only preservation technique that we use is the freeze drying, which allows us to do it without adding no additives. So that's something that we really love about survival moss, because it was hard to find things locally, or even just online getting
It
gels sent to us.
it's a dog's breakfast. It is. It's hard. It's like trying to get medicinal mushrooms. That's why Jordan's doing the mushrooms, because it's like you just can't get this stuff regularly. And if you want to make it a part of your life, that's why I
Mhm.
liked about it, because the ability to be able to take it and have it with me wherever I am, it makes a
Yeah,
big difference. I carry it in my backpack when I travel.
awesome. Awesome. So happy to hear. And it this that was just like really amazing for us to be able to bring it to people and not feel like under a time crunch for in the fridge or freezing it. And a lot of people don't like to have to worry about that. And so the freeze dry was really great for that. So thank you for helping us share this with the world and just kind of allowing people to have access to it, because CMOS was really hard for me when I was going through my issues, and I had to try and recreate the wheel on my own. And so, yeah,
Necessity is the mother of all inventions. That's how it works.
exactly, exactly. And I wanted to also, I've been just thinking more and more about our conversations, and I always like something comes up for me every time, and I feel like I get to dive deeper into my healing, my personal healing, whether it's through with fascia or really just diving deeper into like the remineralization of our body and movement, or just manifestation. I remember we were talking about manifesting a different life in these. Yes, and I do want to add, you guys, if you go on survivalmoss.com, please use the Human Garage discount code for some savings. And yeah, so sorry, I just saw
Yeah.
some comments. Uh,
Yeah, so the
uh,
you're coming through a transit right now, and just like Alexandra that I was talking to earlier, you are coming through a transit right now. You're going to have a big shift on Monday, like a big shift, like a oh my God, what was this world around me? Like where did I wake up? That's what it's going to be like Monday or Tuesday.
I've been feeling it for a while, because I'm a teacher by education, by trade. I used to teach French immersion, primary level, and that was my passion. And I still feel like I'm doing teaching, but in a different form. I'm finding my passion in different things right now, and I'm inspired and wanting to inspire others in the ways that I got impacted, which is huge with health right now, like you say.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's you're finding your purpose, and it took a little bit of dis-ease, not feeling comfortable in your body to do that. That's okay. That's all
yeah,
the story of the past,
and
right?
it's scary at first, and I would like to touch on this. Like I grew up with my aunt. She was diagnosed with MS, so I was maybe in end of elementary school, high school, when I was first introduced to the illness. And I would see her navigate through the illness, and for me, it brought such fear. It created such a fear in me that I still feel it to this day. And I feel like I almost manifested it.
You
I manifested
you did
getting
manifest
sick.
it. You
Yeah.
did. Like people talk about emotional dysregulation of genes, like it's genetics. Then there's epigenetics. It's the environmental
Mhm,
expression of the gene through the environmental
mhm,
issues. Well, what's the strongest environmental issues? The emotions that I
mhm,
carry, and I'm around people and I see stuff. I fear this universe is perfect. Whatever I put the most energy towards comes at me.
mhm.
So I get the lesson. So you were just born to go through the journey. That's a
Yeah.
30-year-old story, though.
Yeah. And I just kind of like I was wanting to hack that. Like I saw like I go through the conventional route. I saw her slowly like just her health was just not doing
You
very well, and still to this
listen to your
day.
story.
Yeah.
I saw it. I watched it. I was afraid of it. I
Yeah.
wanted to find a hack for it. Well, that's
Yeah.
it. You created it. So
Yeah.
you're here. And this is the beauty about what you're doing. You are the hack.
Yeah, it is so cool to think of it in that way, and it's been taking me time to be like diving deeper and where did this stem? How did I learn about this? Why did that really impact me? And then trying to find a way like I'm not going to let it take me down the same way I'm going to overcome it differently. I'm going to redefine this for me. And that is just kind of the wave I'm riding right now, and it's been amazing.
It's the Aries.
Mhm.
Charge.
Right?
I
Just
got a
like
sword. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
thank you for all that you do. We do appreciate doing business with you guys and helping out and sharing your mission. And it's been quite the journey. And Ikwe was in there saying, see you on Sunday." So
Yeah, so excited and so looking forward to meeting anyone from Vancouver who will be coming out to the class. And yeah, so looking forward to future.
I got a feeling you're bringing samples.
Yeah, definitely. I love giving, so I'll be coming with lots.
Okay. See ya.
Everyone,
Say
take
hi to
care.
Danielle. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Survival Moss. So you can go to our partner store. You can check them out. And yeah, it's such a great story. But what the real cool part is, freeze dried. Freeze dried, you can take anywhere, anytime. You get a bag of freeze dried, it's equal to a jar of made up. You can sprinkle it on stuff. You can put it in water. It has no taste. Kids eat it. It's so easy to use. Uh, I am Jerry Ryan or Jen Ryan. Said Jerry Ryan. Oh, 7 to 9. Hi, Jen Ryan. Let's see. Sea moss tastes like the ocean. Yeah, you can actually put down what they do is they put cinnamon in it with hey, Jen Ryan. I read
Hi.
Jerry Ryan and I'm like 7 to 9.
Hi.
Where are you, Jen?
Connecticut.
Oh, another Connecticut. Wow, 2 people in Connecticut today.
Yeah.
What's happening? It must be the banning of chemtrails. Now all the Connecticut people are waking up.
I was so happy when you said that. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. The sky right now is just, you know, blanketed.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you get out of it. So when's your birthday, Jen?
February 21st,
Do you
1979.
know your degree? Are you a 0 or a 29 degree?
I don't know.
You need to find. You need to find that out, and you need to send me a. You need to send me a screenshot. If you are a 0 or 29 degree, you're calling today for a very important reason. You gotta go into astro.com, put in all your birth information, print out your chart, and then take a screenshot, and then send it to me in the DMs.
Okay. In just the human
Yeah,
garage.
yeah, they'll get it to me. Just say this is for Gary. I was on the live, sending him a chart. Yeah, because today's a new moon, and either way, I mean, you could be a 1 degree, you could be a 2 degree, but I have a feeling that you are. I have a feeling that you're a 29 degree. And are you all about privacy and secrecy and quiet and getting away, or are you all about inclusiveness and fairness and community?
Um, I like fairness, but I also like I am very private.
You're probably a 0 degree then. 0 degree Pisces rather than a 29 degree Aquarius.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which also makes sense because we get today we come. You guys, all you fishes come in schools, and there's another Pisces on just a minute ago. So you all swim together usually.
All right, so that's exciting. But I want to tell you, I am a spinal energetics practitioner.
Oh, with Dr. Sarah.
Yes, yes. So I saw, I don't know, months ago, you guys were chatting online, and I think that's kind of how I saw you and
Yeah.
have been following you. So I also joined your global reset.
Yeah.
And so I have a question about the palette swipe. Okay.
Sure.
So a couple days ago, I was doing it and all was good. And then I went to do it the other day and I noticed like almost, and now I don't know if this is natural, but like a little nodule
Yeah.
back there when I was doing the palette
Yeah.
swipe.
That's so most likely here's what's happening. The majority of people have compression in their head.
Okay.
As a species, not as a human being, but as a human being, as a species, we tend to lose size as we get older. And the only way we can lose size is if something's compressing. Because
Okay.
bones aren't structured. Your bones, like when you're 90, your bones aren't any different length than when you're 20. Fair statement? So
Yeah.
to lose structure, you have to compress, and what is compressing is the fascia. This is a complete pressure region right here. So usually that would mean that there's probably a little bit of trauma or a little bit of stuff happening up in the crown
Okay.
area of about your frontal bone, frontal cortex. Were you a C-section by any chance?
No,
Okay. Did you have any head trauma? Actually, you did. It's on your right side.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's pretty easy. A kid, you smash your head against the wall, you get hit with something, you bang, come up, hit it, but you have it, and it's also
Okay.
partly as your frontal bone slightly shifts this way to your. I'm looking at the screen to this way, and that eye is slightly protruding a little bit. So I know that there's a head trauma there.
Okay.
So one of the things you want to try is go do the upper reset protocol
Okay.
and do that for a couple of days. In there, they got a hair pull.
I love that one.
Okay, yeah. So there with the ears, because the frontal bone goes like right up to here. So most likely, what's happening is that how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
I'll be 45.
Okay, so most likely you're 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half shorter than you were when you were in college.
Yeah.
Okay, so what that does is that all gets tight up in here. As you open that up, you're gonna get that back.
Okay.
So one of the places you're gonna feel it, because this is a palate, and this palate here is also a reference point to this palate here, which is your pelvic floor. And when your jaw torques to the right, your pelvic floor torques to the left, because if your head goes this way, your pelvis has to go the other way in order for you to balance. And it has a notification. Fascia notifies the bones and the muscles how to act or react. You work with energy, you know
Yeah.
that. You're moving energy, and the bones and the muscles react. So one of the primary sensory portions is the palate is one, pelvic floor is another one. Those are diaphragms, and those ones are juxtaposed. Then they go like this when you walk and you move. This
Yeah.
one here goes like this. So it's giving to both.
Yes. And I also had a spinal fusion, like
Which one? Oh,
uh,
what?
L5 to S1.
Okay, so that alone, why did you have the fusion?
It was like 9 years ago. I started experiencing some numbness in my leg, my left leg. And have had scoliosis mild growing up. And so I went to see a doctor. I thought maybe it was my scoliosis. And he said, no, you need to go see a surgeon. You have a vertebrae that's out of alignment. And so I went and had surgery. Now, mind you, this is 9 years
Yeah.
ago. So, and you know, the whole fear factor, he was like, you could
get it.
you could wake up one day and not walk. And here, I think I was like 36 at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I did the back surgery. But I will say when I was in the hospital, they fed me a lot of medication. When I came home, I told my family, like, I'm not taking any of this. So it was, you know, within a day I was walking again and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, so I've always been, you know, tight in the hips, not in
So do you have somebody to partner with?
I can have my
Yeah,
husband.
good. The partner maneuvers, the belly button untort.
Yeah.
Also, you'll find the bladder release. The bladder release is going to make you feel like $1,000,000 in your sacrum and your pelvic. So do the belly button on torque, the bladder release, the ileocecal valve release, then do the partnered hip release, and you will feel like $1,000,000 because around that spinal injury and the surgery is a compression. And imagine the fascia is all out here like a balloon. Yeah, and it swirls. You take that center part and you tighten it up like this. It brings everything in. So
Yeah.
that's what it does. But that'll all go away. And a single fusion on your back, But as you get through the practice and that it'll be like it never happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I started your, before the global reset, I started doing some of the maneuvers. I started the 28-day reset. I had bought your supplements, so I'm taking those. And then you came out with the global reset. So I said, all right, I'm going to just start from the global reset and do
Yeah.
that. But since then, I've had so much like relief in that area where I have literally done everything and always have soreness back there. But since doing the maneuvers, the relief is uh, indescribable.
Yeah. So
You know?
you're doing the spinal
Yeah.
energetics work and the
Yeah.
practices. What's happening is that type of practice, like when Donnie Epstein started years ago, the human bodies weren't contracted and dehydrated like they are today.
Yeah.
30 years ago. And what's happening is that it takes longer for the energetic work to propagate into the physical because of the dehydration and the compression. And what fascial maneuvers is just speeding it up.
Yeah.
And for you, it's about fear of moving forward in your life specifically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're ready to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you do. The spinal energetics work. I mean, it's funny because when I was talking to Sarah, I'm like, I live in the field and I observe me. That's where it all happens. But we have been hardwired through not only our own existence, but like dogs programmed to live into here. And as we move our observation part, like people go, I got an aura, and I'm like, that's technically incorrect. There's a human experience, which is a ball of energy, which at the very densest, thickest part of it is what you identify as you. But
Right.
that energy around us is me,
Right.
and that dense part that I identify as me is the stubby, stupid little part that the energy is trying to get to do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I really love what you guys are doing. I mean, I love that she's doing because she's taking, a very sophisticated, methodical, clinical practice like Epstein, like Donnie, and then making it accessible and taking and changing the language because like a lot of this science, it's like fascial maneuvers. I mean, what the science of it is and what people are doing, they don't have to know anything about it to make it
Right.
work.
Yeah.
And if we give them too much information, they want to know everything about it, and then they don't work it because they don't know everything about it.
Yeah.
That's why I love what Sarah did.
Yeah. No, it's wonderful. I love it. I love it.
Do you see people every day?
Typically, like today, I don't have anybody, but I also see people online. So in person and online. Tomorrow, I have like a full schedule, but I kind of like just, I take days off.
I'm looking forward to feeling it again in person. I'm going to probably see Sarah. We're probably going to Australia. We're working with Pete Evans, the chef out there. We're probably going to be going out there and spending a month. And I'm looking forward to feel because I have a new body and I haven't experienced that type of work since I was in the clinic. So I'm really interested to see how this thing is going to work with that.
Oh, yeah. It'll be
So
incredible. Yeah.
do me a favor.
Yeah.
Got to take a snapshot. Go to astro.com, print out your chart, take a snapshot, send it to me.
Okay.
Okay. Super curious.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to getting to meet you in
Thank you.
person.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Jen Ryan. Spinal Energetics. If you want to check out Dr. Sarah, Dr. Sarah Spinal Energetics out of Australia. Super cool. It's an energy-based practice. Network spinal analysis is something that would be like it, but what she does is way cooler. Sorry, Donnie. She's way cooler than you. She's a Gemini too. So if you haven't done it yet, you can sign up for our nutrition program. We have a nutrition program that takes from basics to beginners. It's going to show you how to deal with your DNA and what you should be eating, giving you secrets on how to eat, what to do, and that's on our events page. You can still sign up. I think we're going to hold signups for through the course of this week. It's a 12-week program that you can get onto, so go do it if you're interested. In addition to that, we have New York classes. If you are in New York City Monday, come on out. We just threw them up there without much notice last week, but we have the classes starting in New York, and this has been the biggest request place that we've had. So go out, support that class. There is a limit to the number of people. So as people in New York find out, you're going to have to reserve your ticket in advance, because there is a limit to the number of people that can go to the space. It's New York. What can you say? And in addition to that, we've got coming up this weekend. Well, first of all, the new moon tonight. So be aware of the intentions that you've already set. You've already set your intentions. So just show up and be aware of it. Be flexible. Know that by Monday, you guys, non-judgmental, flexible is what you want to be between now and Monday. I'm just telling you, this stuff is going to change you. So be flexible, okay? And if you haven't done it yet, you can still sign up for the next reset starting on the 1st. You sign up now, and then several days before, I think it's on the 4th for the 15th, so 12 days before. So 12 days into 30 would be 18th. I think on the 18th it starts the next reset. So if you haven't done it yet, sign up for the next global reset and do it with a bunch of people, because in that global reset, you've got access to free online classes and support classes for both movement and for emotional support. Ask questions and all that stuff. They happen almost every day of the week. They're in the resets. And share it with a friend, share it with a buddy, share it with your parent, share it with your child. And if you are the Parents Helping Children platform is coming to our platform right away. So if you have a child that is in great need, just message us. We will include you in the text group before it goes live.
There's a link in the bio.
And there's a link in the bio. And we are piloting that before we make it for public consumption. It's going to be 1 to 2 months as a pilot, I think. And is there anything else I need to know?
I think you covered all of it.
I think I've covered it all. It's 12:58. It's a new moon. Things are getting a little weird out there. Make sure that you go out. You say hi to someone that you love. Take a step back today and observe. Please observe. If you're born a C-section, you can DM us. We'll give you videos. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have